Nissan of Silsbee, did you know that we have a complete service department? Whether you need detailed mechanical work or just a $12.95 oil change, we can handle it for you. And we rent new Nissans. And we rent to everybody. Get a 3-day weekend for just $99 or rent it longer.
And of course, we sell. Get a 2011 Nissan Altima for just $199 per month or get a great deal on a certified pre-owned vehicle.
But best of all, at Nissan of Silsbee, we're making deals the Silsbee way.
JP White, SportsSpeak Sports, where we speak sports and a few other things, and I'm happy to have Tom Hawk. Tom Hawk, Associate Pastor of the First Baptist Church in Silsbee. You're number 2 man right behind Dr. Scott Moody.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
A few things, other few things. You're a basketball official.
Yes, sir.
You're the go-to man at the church.
Okay.
That's the way I understand it.
Well,
You're head of missions. If there's something to do to the building, you're the man to tell, talk to, get it fixed, and you do, and you're the man that you keep the buses running. And you got some new buses, haven't you?
well, we have a bus and a van, yes, but we have a great team that helps us step up and take care of those things.
I know that you've been an official. Did you play football?
I did not.
Basketball, baseball, what did you play?
No sports. I just played in the band.
Oh, that's sport.
That is
Okay.
that is an activity, very great activity.
Tell me about it. What kind of a machine did you play?
I played the trumpet.
Trumpet. Okay, that's the one that, yeah.
In those days, it's a little shorter. Nowadays, it's a trumpet. I played the cornet, actually, which is a little shorter version of the trumpet, and you don't find too many of those out in action today.
Okay, now it's a bugle they play in the service in the military, isn't it?
This is a bugle with the valves.
Okay, it is.
Yes, sir.
That's sort of like cornet, isn't it?
That's a cornet, yes.
I thought so, something like that. I've heard it a few times. Like, well, it's been a long time ago. They may not have had the same kind of instruments when I was there.
But it's a very enjoyable horn.
By the way, along that line now that I'm thinking about this, how about your dad? Was he a preacher?
No, he was not. He was in the Air Force. My father served 23 years in the Air Force, and so we got to travel a bit. Born in Amarillo, Texas, and then we got to go over to Germany for 4 years. And then
Did you go to school over there?
I did for a while.
They teach you German, or what did they teach you?
No, we went to a military base school, so it was an American school.
Same thing we get over here.
Yes, sir. Yes, very much so. Yes.
Okay. Didn't have German teachers, was it?
No, they were all American teachers.
Okay.
Just learned when we got out and left the military complex and got to go out into the community. We had to communicate some in German, so I tried to learn enough to get by.
There you go.
As frequently as we were off base.
Okay, now, I know for a fact, in fact, I've seen you do it. You officiate basketball games. Do you do baseball games, umpire?
No, I've only done basketball.
Well, tell me about it. Now, I want to know, tell me something that you basketball officials, the rest of them wouldn't tell us.
That's interesting. I know we're supposed to keep a lot of eye contact with one another, not just to be aware of where our partners are at. Most people don't know that the officials are watching one another as well as the game.
Oh, is that right?
So that we are aware of, communicating before making a call public, so that we make sure that we get the right call.
Well, one guy's on one side and one's on the other. Usually, what happened, isn't it? You said,
you always see something from what vantage points you look at it. That's why I've been a spectator as well as an official.
Yes.
And you always see things when you're farther away. You see a greater portion of the field of play, which is the court. When you're down on the court, you see just a few trees right in front of you, and that's where your eyes are at. And so before, if you hear a double whistle, you always look at your other official, your co-official. Or if there's 3 officials, you look at both of the others and see who also had a whistle with you, and communicate with one another before you go to the table and state what foul there was or what offense there was.
Well, do you sometimes run into this problem of little molehill that one official, which one made that call, if 2 whistles were blown at the same time?
That's when you come together as officials and you talk about what did you have, what did I have, and make sure that you get the call correct.
Oh, well, that's right. You don't just automatically throw it out there and run to the bench and show them, do you? Okay. Well, you covered that pretty good, I think.
Well, we just want to make sure we get the call right.
Well, I didn't know for sure you get it right. Now that's something.
That's a good discussion. Study up on the rules, and as best as you interpret the rules from what you saw happen, that would be what you discuss as the right call to make.
Do you sometimes take all three of you referees to decide something?
Occasionally, yes, sir.
Well, sure. I've seen a few ball games, but I didn't know what was going on.
You always see a little conference whenever there's maybe some confusion, so you make sure that there is no confusion and you make the right call that way.
What about these coaches? Sometimes you see them, they look like they're kind of getting kind of wild. How do you handle those guys?
Talk gently with them.
Talk gently.
Listen, embrace their comments, and just be very responsive to them, yet don't give in, because you still want to officiate the game, and you want them to know that that's what you're there for, is to officiate the game. And you'll call it fairly, the way you see it from both sides.
Yeah.
And you're just calling the calls and letting the boys or the girls play.
Yeah.
So that's, you just listen to them. You embrace what they're saying, what counsel they're giving to you, because there's plenty of counsel given from coaches, stands.
Yeah.
Also some counsel often given from the players themselves.
Oh, okay. Do you, of course you can send anyone, the coaches or the players to the dressing room, right?
You have that authority, yes.
You hardly ever do that.
That's that would be a last resort, yes.
It's a pretty extreme case.
The idea is to, just to let them enjoy playing the sport. And, if they're not there, they can't enjoy playing the sport. They can't exercise all of their talents. And so you want to keep them in the game unless they just can completely ignore you, and completely go off on some tangent away from the sport of basketball. So then that's when you would consider removing them from the court.
All righty. Well, I think, can you think of something else? Anything else that you want to explain about officiating basketball? Well, you pretty well covered it. You've done a good job. I answered all my question.
Again, I would just stress to fans who watch basketball, it is easier to see the whole court and many more things that happen, and understand that as an official standing down right in front of the play, sometimes you can't see what happens on the backside of a player. You're on this side, and things that happen on the backside of a player, you have responsibilities of watching certain portions of the court as an official, and you don't always see what happens around the corner of a player or between two players that the fans from farther away get to see. And they start hollering and yelling about, call that. And, from your viewpoint, shielded with players, you may not get to see what the fans saw. And so that kind of is very irritating to the spectators. Yeah. But the officials are, pretty well always do a great job from the view that they have of the players on the court. They try to position themselves. I know we do. Try to position ourselves so we have the ball and the defender and the player, or if we're off ball, that we get the largest group of the players that we can view and what's happening with them, so that we can pretty well manage the game to allow them to play and use all of the talents that they have.
Yes.
For the sport.
Okay. Well, I never thought about that. The action is over here, but a couple of players are between here and there. And you can't see, can you?
Well, you try to, position yourself around where you can still see what's happening between.
A little bit.
Well, yes, it's official. That's why you'll see them always, never really ever standing still. They're always kind of adjusting themselves so they can see the action between the players and what's going to happen. Try to look about what the next collision point is going to be, so that you can referee what's going on out there.
What do you guys do at halftime?
We
go and have a Coke?
We go in and have some water, but talk about everything that happened during the first half.
Okay.
What we saw, what we didn't, what one official saw that we may have missed, and we talk about how to adjust ourselves in order to officiate a better second half.
All righty. You're telling us some mighty good stuff about you. Me told where you were born. Okay. some good philosophy of life. What would you throw out as, I ordinarily ask you, what's the strangest thing ever happened to you? And I want to know something about your philosophy, and whatever you want to ask. Either one.
I try not to have strange things happen to me. But I enjoy life. I enjoy fun. But I like doing things right. I think that's just, I like seeing things done right, correctly.
Okay.
And a lot of people have lots of ideas on what right is.
Sure.
And so I kind of go back to my guidebook, which is, God's Word.
Yes.
And
That's an instruction book, isn't it?
That is, they say that's life's instruction book. Yes,
There you go.
that's life's manual.
Okay.
So I like to turn there. I like to look and see where it is that God is adjusting my life. And I think that's the hardest part, is applying it to me. Living it out to me. It's easy to look at somebody else and say, you ought to do this, you ought to do this, when my life is still kind of out of sorts and not refined as it should be.
Okay, I said strange. You've got to have something unusual. There's not the regular thing happening. Have you seen the Bragg Ghost?
No, I have not.
You haven't even been out there looking.
We've been, whenever I was a student minister in Buna, we took some youth out to the Bragg Light, and we went on that journey, and I just kind of enjoyed letting them see it. I guess that would be the best thing to say.
Yeah, you got something wild that you really want to tell me, or something calm?
Well, I would go back to sports and just encourage, as a former official, as a basketball official, I would just encourage people to be not condemning of the officials out on the field of play, whatever sport it is. It doesn't matter. They're trying to do the very best job. They want the kids to be winners. They want the kids to be successful. And so be encouragers to them. Be great sports themselves. Allow them to do their job and do it effectively. And if they can focus more on the game and more on the kids, it will be a better game all the way around.
Good job. J.P. White, SportsSpeak Sports. Tom Hall,
Thank
Associate
you.
Pastor of the First Baptist Church.
Thank you,
did a good
JP. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Mitchell Lawn Supply in Evadale, Highway 96 South. 36 years of professional service and superior work. Mitchell Lawn Supply, your certified steel dealer with a full line of steel parts and accessories. No job's too big or too small. They've got tools for everything. Mitchell Lawn Supply, open Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. till 5:30, Saturday 7 till noon. Be sure to check out their line of guns and their complete gun shop, as well as all the ammunition you'll need for whatever you're hunting. Mitchell Lawn Supply, Evadale. SportsSpeak Golf Cars and Motorbikes, Highway 327 West in Silsbee, has this sophisticated, street-legal Tony Lamborghini golf cart, 6-seaters, 4-seaters, customized trailers, LaFree electric bikes, manual pedal bikes, and a motorized Velo Solex, tires, wheels, trolleys, and accessories for Club Car and E-Z-Go. SportsSpeak Golf Cars and Motorbikes, Highway 327 West in Silsbee. Call them at 385-3838.